Hey, everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sport.
Just off Lakeshore Drive, nestled next to Lake Michigan. That's where you find historic Soldier Field in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. Tonight, we begin Week 8 with a good matchup for you here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by a man who was undrafted out of Buffalo, standing at 6'7". It's Tyree Jackson.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week. But all he focused on, look better, but that'll help my team.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And this certainly doesn't seem like an ideal situation for them because they're coming in on a losing streak, and they've got the quick turnaround right here to Thursday night. But maybe that's for the best. Get right back on the horse and go at it again and not dwell on the losing that they've had in recent weeks.
From the 27, Jackson. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Bears take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Taylor. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
And this team is coming in off of their open week, and to me, a pretty good time to have it, too, because it's pretty much right in the middle of the season. So I would think that they'll be pretty well rested and ready to go for the second half of the season. But even more importantly, they got a little bit of a mental break as well. That's going to help, too.
To throw on 3rd down. Dukes nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We call that sack block.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, with home crowd, it felt like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well. But that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third? On the screen, this is Coleman. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing to start the drive. Dukes. That's complete to Robinson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
On 2nd down now, it's Taylor, and he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He finds Robinson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection.
Hey, let's get him home. Check 24, check 23. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
They'll run on 1st down. Taylor, and he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. This is how they will light it up defensively for Minnesota. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dukes, man open. That's Damian Ratley. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Chicago. Damian Ratley, his 1st touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. Matt Gay on for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Taylor. Limited running room.
But that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Kill.
To throw on 2nd down, Dukes. It's complete to Robinson. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll run on 1st down. It's Taylor. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 46-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And they'll try the jet sweep here. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd down and 6.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
Delay of game, offense.
Yeah,
Third down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. From the gun, Dukes. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dukes, he dumps it underneath for Taylor. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 19.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
They begin the drive with Coleman. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Play action. It's Jackson. Incomplete. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Vikings send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. On first down, it's Taylor. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down, Dukes. And that'll be incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And it's third down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
On third down, Dukes. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
That's it, baby. We go.
Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Jackson now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Here's Coleman on the draw. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
Watch the slant. He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Let's go. Come on.
2nd and 2. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And 8 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Throwing again. Dukes. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Looking to throw. Dukes nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking it about the 16. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Going to throw right side here, complete. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Now it's Jackson.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl to
window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on first and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Going underneath, it's Coleman. They'll give him 8 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. He finds Coleman. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Ready? Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. I hope you brought your left because I'm about to take you to school.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And this one complete to Smith. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a first and 20. Now Jackson, he's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That play was well covered, just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from 53. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt on the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On second down, it's Taylor. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They go to the ground again with Taylor, and he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. He's going to fire one deep over them, and that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 34. I guess that answers the question of what third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Back to throw. Dukes finding Knox there, complete. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety.
On second down now, it's Taylor. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
Yeah, baby. Boom.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine. Showing up.
They'll keep it on the ground. Taylor. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Throwing on first down. Dukes finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The Bears on the move. They've got another first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
You got three down, three down.
Looking to throw. Dukes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears.
Good job.
Devontae Parker with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Now the Bears keeping the offense on the field and going for 2. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he's got it. So they try for 2, successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now Jackson to throw again. This one complete to Coleman. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. From the 39, Jackson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws. Yeah, that's a big miss. He's going to wind up and air it out, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
The Vikings send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll keep it on the ground. Taylor, he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back to throw. Dukes. And it's caught by Parker. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They run with Taylor. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Vikings, nothing.
They'll keep it on the ground. Taylor. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the ball. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. The Bears on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun. Dukes. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Mike Hughes came crashing in that time, got the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, Jackson. Ebron with it over the middle. And they'll get him down here at the 23. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Vikings on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 7. On the draw play, Coleman. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. And, Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in first downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams. But this squad, they're in a position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a first down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Jackson now. Throwing again. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
It's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Hundley. This will be his first throw off the bench. Going deep for Dick. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The give to Taylor. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dukes. It gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 14 yards in a Chicago first down. They'll run on first down. It's Taylor. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield, and you just continue to harass the receiver.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. He scored on the rush further out in front. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out is Brett Hundley and the rest of the offense as they'll take over here. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On second down, it's Coleman. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's able to find Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From just shy of midfield, Hundley. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Throwing, Hundley. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Coming back out onto the field and checking the timeouts. They do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll run with Taylor. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Chicago, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get a